We watched what happens inside a baby's brain when you talk to them, and it will change everything. It's groundbreaking neuroscience from the University of Washington. Researchers used a safe, futuristic brain imaging technology called MEG to literally watch a 5-month-old's brain react to speech in real time. They discovered that the way we talk to our babies can either supercharge their brain for language or leave it completely in the dark. The brain activity they measured at just 5 months old directly predicted how many words that child would know more than 2 years later. This isn't about making you feel guilty. This is a challenge to unlock your baby's potential. I'm going to show you the colossal mistake almost every parent makes and give you 8 simple, science-backed habits to turn your child into a language genius, all based on this one single study. So, what is the single biggest mistake that kills your baby's language growth? It's the belief that talking around your baby is the same as talking to them. We all do it. We have the TV on for exposure, narrate our day to ourselves, or talk to our partner over the baby's head, thinking they're a little sponge soaking it all in. But the science is crystal clear. This is a massive error. That background noise, what researchers call secondhand speech, isn't just less effective. For building vocabulary, it's practically worthless. Imagine your baby's brain is a high-tech radio receiver designed to lock onto one specific, crystal-clear frequency. The study proved that direct, face-to-face speech is that perfect signal. Everything else, the podcast you're listening to, the phone call on speaker, the TV in the background, is just static. It's noise that their brain is specifically wired to ignore. The experiment that proved this is absolutely mind-blowing and should change how everyone parents. In the landmark study, scientists put 5-month-old babies into a brain scanner to watch their neural activity. First, they had an adult engage directly with the baby, face-to-face, smiling, and using that sing-songy parentese voice. The result? The baby's brain, especially in the regions that control attention, lit up like a stadium. It was a massive spike in neural engagement, signaling that the brain was primed and ready to learn. But then they tested the second scenario, the one we are all guilty of. The adult simply turned their head 45 degrees away and started talking to another person. The baby could still hear the voice perfectly. The volume was identical. But what happened in the baby's brain was shocking. The activity plummeted. Those critical attention centers went quiet. The brain had literally tuned it out, treating the speech as irrelevant background noise, like the hum of a refrigerator. This is the secondhand speech mistake in a nutshell. Your baby's brain is not a passive recorder. It's an active, social organ that demands connection to learn. It needs social cues, your eyes, your smile, your direct attention, to tell it, pay attention, this is for you. Without those cues, your voice is just auditory wallpaper. The study proved that only the speech directed to the child fuels their vocabulary, while speech they just overhear has no relationship to their language growth at all. And here's the part that should make every parent drop what they're doing and listen. The level of that brain activity during direct, face-to-face interaction at just 5 months old was a direct predictor of the size of their vocabulary at 18 months, 24 months, and all the way to 30 months old. That early engagement isn't just a sweet moment, it is literally building the foundation for your child's entire future. Habit 1. Engage in frequent face-to-face interaction. This is the cornerstone. The non-negotiable foundation of language. The science is screaming at us. When you are face-to-face with your baby, their brain's attention centers are primed and ready for learning. That huge spike in brain activity isn't just a number on a chart. It's the physical difference between a brain that is actively engaged in learning and one that is passively hearing meaningless noise. So what does this actually look like? This is not about staring at your baby for hours on end. It's about creating small, dedicated pockets of pure, focused connection. I'm challenging you to find just 3 to 5 minute bursts, multiple times a day. You can do this during a diaper change, right after a feed, or when you first get them up in the morning. During these moments, you have one job: phone down, TV off. Position yourself so your baby can clearly see your face. This simple orientation, being directly in front of them, is a powerful nonverbal signal that says, "I am with you. This is for you." From their perspective, in a world of confusing sounds, your face is their anchor. It's the lighthouse in the fog. When you give them your full, direct, face-to-face attention, you are giving their brain the richest, most powerful data possible for language growth. The study showed this is the only condition that lights up their brain in the right way. Habit 2. Master the social ensemble. If face-to-face is the stage, the social ensemble is the main event. This is the secret sauce. The researchers identified a powerful trio of behaviors that, when used together, create an absolute super stimulus for language learning. This social ensemble consists of 3 things: infant-directed speech, or parentese, mutual eye contact, and smiling. Using one of these signals is good, but combining all 3 is where the magic happens. The research shows this trio doesn't just grab a baby's attention, it primes their brain to try and make sounds in return. It's a neurological 1-2-3 punch that supercharges their desire to communicate. First, parentese. That high-pitched, sing-songy, melodic way of talking. The study confirms this is a species-specific signal that is essential for initial language learning. It's not gibberish. It's real language with exaggerated tones that help babies tell sounds apart. Second, mutual eye contact. This is the glue that creates a shared connection. It tells your baby that the words you're saying are personally relevant to them. Third, smiling. A smile floods the interaction with positive emotion, making it fun, and motivating them to stay engaged and keep the conversation going. The key is to use all 3 together. During that dedicated face-to-face time, lock eyes, smile warmly, and talk to them using that engaging parentese. That specific combination is what multiplies the effect on their brain, sending a signal so powerful that it kicks their learning systems into overdrive. Habit 3. Be contingently responsive. Imagine you say something to a friend and they just stare back blankly. You'd stop talking pretty fast. The exact same is true for your baby. The back and forth flow is the absolute essence of communication. The study calls this contingent responsiveness, and it is pure gold for language growth. Contingent just means responding right away, in a way that relates to what your baby did. This isn't just a nice thing to do, it has a profound neurological effect. The research showed that this rapid social feedback actually activates the motor planning regions of a baby's brain, physically preparing their vocal systems to respond. It's like their brain is saying, "Get ready, it's our turn to talk." So when your baby coos, "ah," you immediately smile, make eye contact, and say, "Ah, you are telling me all about it." When they babble, "ba, ba," you return it with, "Ba, ba, yes, that's right, ba, ba." You are doing 2 critical things. You are validating their attempt to communicate, teaching them, "My sounds matter." And you are modeling the next step in conversation. You are teaching them the rhythm of a real conversation long before they can say a single recognizable word. This back and forth is the engine of communication. Habit 4. Use parentese consistently. We've mentioned parentese as part of the social ensemble, but it is so critically important that it deserves its own spotlight. Let's get this perfectly straight. Parentese is not baby talk. Baby talk is made-up words and gibberish like goo goo gaga. Parentese is using real, grammatically correct sentences, but delivered in a way that's acoustically optimized for the infant brain. The research identifies it as a special signal that is essential for getting language learning off the ground. Its key features are a higher pitch, a slower tempo, and stretched out vowels. Why does this work so effectively? First, the melody of it naturally captures and holds a baby's attention. They actively prefer listening to it, so they listen longer and learn more. Second, by slowing down and exaggerating the sounds, you are acoustically highlighting the building blocks of language. You're helping their brain distinguish between different vowels and consonants. The pauses in parentese also give them critical clues for figuring out where one word ends and the next one begins. So instead of a flat, monotone, "I'm changing your diaper now," try a melodic, "I am changing your diaper." You might feel silly at first, but your baby's brain is absolutely craving it. The science proves it. Habit 5. Actively avoid second-hand speech. This habit is about actively fighting against our modern, constantly distracted lives. It's not just about adding in more face-to-face time. It's about recognizing and eliminating the times when we fool ourselves into thinking that passive noise is helping. Remember the core finding of the study. The exact moment the adult turned just 45 degrees away, the baby's brain activity associated with attention dropped off a cliff. It went dark. This means you must make a conscious choice to eliminate distractions during your interaction times. That news channel you have playing in the background for language exposure? It's just auditory clutter. It's static that makes it harder for your baby's brain to lock onto the sounds that actually matter, your voice, directed at them. The conversation you're having with your partner over your baby's head? Their brain treats it as irrelevant noise, not a language lesson. This is probably the hardest habit to build because we are all programmed to multitask. But the science tells us in no uncertain terms that this multitasking comes at a huge cost to your baby's development. During your dedicated interaction times, speak only to the baby. When you're not directly interacting, embrace quiet. Let their brain rest and process what it's learned, rather than flooding it with a constant stream of irrelevant, unlearnable noise. Habit 6. Prioritize uninter-eye contact. We've talked about eye contact as part of the social ensemble, but its power is so immense it needs to be underscored. Mutual eye gaze is the silent superpower in your language teaching toolkit. The study states that this is a key part of the social interaction that links their early brain function to their later language success. Without eye contact, even the most perfect, melodic parentese loses much of its punch. It's the eye contact that makes language personal. It's the nonverbal cue that tells your baby, "These words are for you. This information is important." This is the easiest win you will have all day. When you are feeding your baby, resist the siren song of your phone. Just for a few minutes, look at them. Let them study your face as you talk to them. When they look at a toy and then look back at you, they are initiating a bid for connection. Meet their gaze, then look at the toy and name it. "You see the ball. It's a red ball." You are reinforcing that their gaze is a powerful tool for communication. In that silent moment of shared connection, a universe of learning is unfolding in their brain. Habit 7. Embrace the urgency of starting early. If there's one message the science is shouting from the rooftops, it's this: start now. The landmark study focused on infants at just 5 months old, and their brain responses then were predictive of their vocabulary size all the way up to 30 months old. This highlights a critical early window of opportunity that many people miss. The first year of life is a period of explosive brain growth that operates on a use-it-or-lose-it principle. Neural pathways that are stimulated by rich social experiences get stronger and faster. Those that aren't used get weaker or pruned away. By engaging in these habits from the very beginning, you are literally sculpting the architecture of your child's brain for language. You are building the superhighways that will carry information for the rest of their life. So, what's the action step? Start today. Don't wait until you think they should be talking. The real work begins long before the first word is ever spoken. If you have a newborn, commit to these habits right now. If your baby is a bit older, don't panic. The principles are exactly the same. The key is to start now and be consistent. Every single interaction is a brain-building opportunity. Habit 8. Make it a true conversation. This final habit ties everything together. It's about structuring all these elements: the face-to-face position, the eye contact, the smiling, the parentese, into a real back-and-forth exchange. This is the contingent responsiveness we talked about in action. Communication is a dance, not a lecture. Too often, we either talk at our babies in a long monologue, or we stop after they make a single sound. The secret ingredient to a real conversation is the pause. After you serve with a sentence, you need to pause and give them a genuine chance to return it. The study showed that your social cues actually prepare their little motor systems to respond vocally. You have to give them the space to do it. Here's the simple, game-changing pattern. You serve. Look at your baby with a smile, use parentese, and say something. Wow, you had such a good nap. You pause. Now wait. Lean forward with an expectant, interested look on your face. Count to 3 silently. This pause creates a space and an invitation for them to respond. They return. Their return might be a tiny coo, a gurgle, a kick, a wiggle, or even just a change in their breathing. You respond. Immediately acknowledge their return, treating it as a valid and brilliant turn in the conversation. Ooh, you did! That big kick tells me you had a great nap and you're ready to play. This simple sequence is the engine of language acquisition. It teaches them that conversation is a partnership and that their contributions, no matter how small, are valued and important. All right, challenge time. If you are ready to build a language genius, I challenge you to smash that subscribe button right now. And in the comments below, tell me which one of these 8 habits you are going to master first. Let's see who's really committed to winning.